canoeing here as well in this cold weather. They were still canoeing on the water. Hello guys. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing fine. I hope you're in great spirits. So this morning I want to do a quick video giving an important information to people who have gotten their visas already and are buying their air tickets. Okay, don't make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. Now this may apply to anybody who has gotten their visa to travel to Europe or North America. I can't speak much about Asia, but I know at least for Europe and North America, Canada, US, and the entire of Europe. Don't make this mistake that I'm about to talk to you about. Alright, so there are people who have gotten their visa, but they may not have money of their own to buy their air tickets. They may not have money of their own to buy their air tickets. Jonah, that is making a video. Can you keep it down a little bit? Thank you. So there are people who have gotten their visa, but maybe for some reasons you don't have money to buy your own ticket, and then you have a friend or a family member or a generous person overseas who decides to support you by buying the ticket for you. So let's say you have a friend, a family member, or a very, very, very good person, a man or woman who lives overseas and decides to buy the ticket for you, and they buy it with their own credit card. Listen to this part. Somebody buys the air ticket for you. However, they purchase the air ticket with their own credit card. You have a family in the US. They decided to buy the air ticket for you with their own credit card, and then they sent you the ticket information. You have a friend in the US, a friend in Canada or in Europe who buys the air ticket for you with their own credit card, and then they send the ticket information to you. You don't want to make this mistake. Now, if somebody else uses their credit card to buy your air ticket for you, most of the time the airline you are traveling with will frustrate you on the day of your travel. I'm saying this again. The airline you are traveling with will frustrate you on the day of your departure on the grounds that the ticket was purchased with somebody else's credit card and not your own card. They will require a proof of the ownership of the credit card with an identity card, ID card. They will require that before they can allow you to travel with that air ticket purchased with somebody. I don't know if this makes sense to you, so I'm going to use some examples here. Yusuf Yakubu lives in Canada. Yusuf Yakubu lives in Canada, but he wants to help Ibrahim Lukman Ambitious buy his air ticket, since Ibrahim has just gotten his visa to come to Canada and Yusuf lives in Canada. They know each other, maybe they are family members or friends or something like that, and Yusuf wants to just help Ibrahim Ambitious Lukman out. So Yusuf purchases the air ticket with his own credit card, and then he sends the ticket itinerary and the flight information to Ambitious Lukman in Ghana or Nigeria. Ambitious Lukman says, oh my goodness, I had a good Samaritan buy my ticket from me from overseas. And then he shows up at the airport on the day of departure. Oh my goodness, it's going to be the frustration of your life the airline is going to demand proof that the credit card that was used to purchase the ticket, they need a proof of the physical credit card, and then they need a proof of the person who owns the credit card in terms of ID. My wife went through this stress and I regretted it. When my wife got her visa, listen carefully. I'm giving you my own self as an example, and I'm going to give you another story too, another example with evidence. When my wife got her visa, I bought the ticket for her with my credit card. Just when, was it a day or two or the day of the departure? Oh my goodness. These people said they will not allow my wife to travel unless they see evidence of the person who owns the card. And here I am talking about the airport. The airport being about, okay, look at it. I don't live by the airport. The airport is about an hour and a half drive or so from me. So literally on that day of my wife's travel, I had to I had to literally drive on the highway, go straight to the airport. They said the only way they can accept it is one of two ways. Either my wife produces the physical credit card as an evidence, plus the ID card of the bearer of the credit card in Ghana at the airport, or I, the one who purchased it, will have to show up in person physically at the airport and report to the airline and show them physical proof that I'm the owner of the credit card and this is my ID card. I didn't know this. I bought a credit card with my own credit card in my own name for my own wife. We tried explaining on the phone, that's my spouse, we can give you a proof of marriage certificate, blah blah blah. They said none of that. They want to see the physical credit card. Now here is the reasoning behind this. Why are they doing this? Many people buy air tickets with fraudulent credit cards, stolen credit cards. A lot of the Yahoo guys will buy air tickets for you with fraudulent cards. So at the end of the day, when the airlines allow you to travel, these people are going to later on do what we call a chargeback in finance, in fraud. We call something a chargeback. The owners of the credit card, if that was a stolen credit card, they are basically going to call their banks and say, hey, somebody else used my credit card to buy an air ticket on KLM. It wasn't me. And then what happens? The airline becomes the loser because the owner is going to collect that money through their bank by claiming it as a fraudulent transaction. And then at the end of the day, the airline is the loser. They would have allowed you to already travel. So history has shown that when people buy credit cards not in their own name, and the name is different, there is a high chance that most of them turn out to be fraudulent by people like who stole the cards and stuff like that, right? In my case, it was a genuine case of a husband buying for a wife, but they will have none of those excuses or explanations. They wanted a physical card. So what did I do? I jumped on the highway. Oh my goodness, my wife was at the departure. Guys, this is why if you are traveling, you want to go to the airport very, very early to check in. There is a reason why they give you 4 or 5 hours of window to check in, so that if anything happens, you are able to sort all of that before your departure. You don't want to show up at the airport just an hour before your departure. You show up and then there is an issue, you're actually missing your flight. They are not going to wait for you. You're going to miss your flight. Thankfully, my wife went to the airport early. I jumped on the highway and I whizzed through traffic. I whizzed through traffic. Got to the airport. And I was so angry. I remember that day I was so angry. I showed up at the airline. I'm like, you guys want to see proof of the credit card? Here is it. You guys want to see proof of my ID? Here is my driver's license. I'm the owner of the credit card. And that's my wife. And then they said, sir, it has nothing to do with you. Unfortunately, because of history, this is how we go about it. I said, all right, no problem, no offense. I gave it to them. Can you clear my wife now for her to travel? And then they said, yes, she can travel now. So I'm sharing this with you. There is a good chance, folks, some of you have families out there. Some of you have friends out there who are good Samaritans. They're going to be buying you air tickets. Remember, if the ticket is purchased with a card which is not in your name, you're going to be running into this kind of problem on the day of your departure. Your happy day and your jacket and your photos and your selfies will turn to a terrible, terrible experience. Now, I'm going to attach a link. After this video ends and I get off the road, I came to drop my daughter off in school. So, anyway. Alright, and today I'm with my wife. She's right here with me. She helped me to drop my daughter off, else I would have been out. If you can lift this one up, thank you. All right, so I'm going to attach line spot check. Good. I'm going to attach a link after this video ends. I'm going to add a link. Read it. The link I'm going to share is actually an experience of a Hollywood superstar, a Hollywood movie star. This woman is a Hollywood superstar, movie star. She was on vacation. She's an American. She was on vacation in Vancouver, in Canada. She was on vacation in Vancouver, in Canada, British Columbia. Vancouver, in Canada. It is the Florida of Canada, right? Vancouver is the Florida of Canada. So this woman was there on vacation. And then she wanted her 2 sons, teenage boys, to come and visit her in Vancouver. So she purchased an air ticket for the 2 kids, teenagers. And then they jump on the on flight, first class or whatever class it was. They jump on the flight. They went to the airport trying to check in to come from the US to Canada. Oh my goodness, frustration. They won't allow the kids to travel. Reason, the air ticket was purchased with somebody else's credit card. This case explained and explained and explained their way out. That the card is owned by our mom. This is proof of our mom. They said no. The mother in Vancouver got on the phone, called the airline and said, hey, this is me. I'm the movie star. Those are my kids. I'm the one who purchased it. They said, no, unfortunately, mom. The procedures require that we see physical ID and the actual credit card before we can allow this case to travel. The woman was so incensed. Incensed means extremely angry and agitated. She wouldn't have any of that. You see, and people like that, it even makes no sense to them because they are superstars. Huh? Some of them would think that, you know what? Some of them would think that, you know what? Oh my goodness, by just saying that they are Hollywood stars, they should be allowed to have their case travel, right? Excuse. The airline said no. They want to see the woman at the airport. They want to see her physical credit card. They want to see her ID on top of that. And this woman said on that day she was actually busy doing something like a shooting or something like that. So she was actually extremely busy. Yet she had to abandon it and go to the airport. Why? Because her kids were stranded at the airport. Her kids were stranded at the airport. It wasn't a good experience at all. I'm not just saying this and giving you my own story. I have given you somebody else's story, somebody who is even a superstar from Hollywood. And I'm going to make sure I attach the link for you guys to read it. So that if you've gotten your visa to travel to Europe, if you've gotten your visa to travel to US, if you've gotten your visa to travel to Canada, and you have a generous soul buying a ticket for you in their name, as much as you want to be thankful, what you can do ahead of time, if you still want the person to buy the ticket, do not wait for the day of departure. Let the person go to the airline's nearby office in their country. If the person is in US, let them go to the nearest airline office and go and show a physical proof of the ID and the credit card so that they can put it in their system on file that you have already been cleared of that. On the day of departure, you're going to have a smooth departure. You don't want to go through this. If you're watching this and this has also happened to you before in the past, I'd like you to comment down there so that you can help others to get this information. Many of us are not aware of this and we get caught up on the day of our assignment. We get caught up in frustrations instead. So I hope this video helps you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. If anybody has a question, you can also post it down. Otherwise, I'm driving, so I'm not looking on the screen that much. But I'm in red light now, so I could easily do that. I hope this information helps you. Could you for Rich Messi? Good morning to you. How are you? Oh yeah, my wife is giving a suggestion here. Ambanya ame more isenishka. I may use. Alternatively, this is what you can do. If the person wants to really help you, the person can also send the money to you. You know, today we have all kinds of money transfer companies around, right? Instead of the person using their credit card to buy it, they can also wire the money to you, and then you can use the money to go and buy it. But if the person is not willing to send the money to you, maybe they don't trust you that you're going to buy it yourself, maybe you're going to use the money for something else, tell them, hey, if you buy the ticket, is it possible? You can go to the airline, call them, even call them on the phone, and ask them whether you will need to show proof of XYZ ahead of time. You don't want to go through frustrations on the day of your departure. at least get this part sorted out ahead of time. On the day of the departure, you don't have to trust me. On the day of my wife's departure, I was so angry, so angry. Yeah, I was expecting my wife to get on a plane and take a selfie and send it to me and say, oh my goodness, I'm on board the flight. And yet she went through that kind of stress. It wasn't a fun experience at all. Imagine if that day I was not even available. It means she would have missed a flight. And if she missed a flight, the money is still gone. Because it wasn't the airline's fault. I'm supposed to know. Because it's something that I'm supposed to know. You may have been like, okay, why are the airline companies not telling you? They expect you to know. They expect you to know that you cannot buy things with people's credit card. This is Europe. You just can't buy things and shop things with people's credit card. Huh? It is the precursor for fraud to occur. Many people use. And you know Africa, they don't even trust us. They don't even trust us in Africa. What I'm saying is, you know what I mean, eh? They know we do a lot of stolen credit cards. Some of you will be there, your friends will be calling you, say, hey, can I send you a credit card to buy me something? Oh, I have a credit card, I want to buy. You know how, if you've gotten friends from Africa and you live in Europe and they've been asking you, I have a credit card, I want you to buy something for me with a credit card, you know what they mean? That's stolen credit card. They stole it online and they're coming to use it to shop and they want to do it through you. So because of the history of all this fraud, that is why it has become more tougher. In the past, it used to be so easy for people to just buy air tickets with other people's credit card. You never want to go to do this. If you do this, remember, cover yourself by going through the proper procedure of verifying yourself, your ID, your credit card in person. Let the person do it over there so that you are cleared on the side of Africa. When you go to the airport, you don't get detained or you don't get frustrated because you purchased the ticket with somebody's credit card. I hope this information has blessed you, and I hope that this information will help somebody who is buying a ticket. And I hope that if you purchase your own ticket with your own money too, that is also good. But if you didn't purchase with your own money and somebody else's credit card and they are overseas, remember to cover yourself. This is Choco Millionaire. You don't need more money. You need more wisdom. Because wisdom is the principal thing. And certainly we all need wisdom so we can live a much, much better and a purpose-driven life. God bless you, and God bless the Choco Millionaire family here too. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Talk to you another time.